Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, we'll be starting really soon. How you doing there, Grey Knight? Amazing to have you as always. I'll tell you what, I'll even do you guys a favour. I'll even take away the actual beautiful little art screen there. What do you want to call it? Image? Print? Something of that nature. I thought, you know what, this is like a perfect opportunity for us to actually continue from where we left off in 1944. I mean, we had, yeah, it was rather interesting. I'm glad I saved it. How you doing there, Lanza? Good to see you, my friend. And Pino. How you doing there, Jackinus? The crew's all here. The crew. The mystery team. Okay. So, we did leave off last time. I think it's really good that we can get right back into it. It's quite nice. Usually we don't get to continue these, but I'm happy that we get to do this. How you doing there, Nightlight? Good to have you, my friend. So, I was told actually to look at a map mod, and I forgot to do that, but I will do that next time. So, the United Kingdoms, obviously landed additional divisions. We did have the 102nd shattered. 3rd Division has no supply source nor supplies. Okay. Finland, no oil, and Hungary, no oil. Okay. I'm not too terribly concerned about that, but I will look at how we can solve that. Okay. So we do see that we still have the rather irritating American core over here. Yeah, I know, it's right. It is available on Steam. Okay. So we do see a British infantry division over here, then, sorry, corps, and we do see the Polish armour. Okay. These units have received a little bit of a pounding, but that's still fairly strong. I could bring this formation over there, actually, the core. That would give me a decent bit of strength. If anything, they just need a little bit of time to recover. We are covering them. We do have the Panzer Division, well, Panzer Corps, but I'm going to say Panzer Division because it sounds right. We do actually have some specialty points, but I'm not going to use it quite yet. Let's see, do they have... Yeah, see, this is it. It's specialty points across the entire Wehrmacht. So I'm not going to use it on this one unit immediately. I think what we need to do then is figure out what we're going to destroy first. Or at least push back. I mean, the actual infantry corps over here is probably the greater threat. Hey, doing there, LN? Good to have you, my friend. Hey, indeed. Okay. See, I do wonder. Yeah, we do have a core available for deployment. That's good news. So, what we're going to do then... Hey, doing that unknown. Good to have you, my friend. Hello there, Belarissa. That's a really interesting name. Yeah, they do... They even strike me as very similar. It's quite a good game. I'm enjoying it so far, really. I've enjoyed it every time I've played, which is nice. Sometimes you don't, and this is it. I actually do enjoy this one. Okay, so as far as it goes on the Eastern Front, obviously we do need to strengthen our positions. The question comes down to, like, where? I do want to make sure we hold on in Romania. That is the worry there. Hungary as well is something to take into consideration. Some additional forces around here could be required. We are being pushed over here, but not too strongly. Yeah, the Soviets do have a lot of force, but obviously due to the fact they're having to spread out and cover a wider area, we are able to actually cover this. Oh, was it updated today? Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware, actually. Okay. Well, that's something to bear in mind, then. If we do another one, we'll have it fully updated. I was a little bit worried that it might break the save, actually. Over 100 improvements or so, he says. Well, there we go. That's some fantastic service, then, isn't it? That's another reason to actually consider picking up a copy for yourself right there. Good to have a developer as always. Right then, Alvaro. Where do we want to put these troops? I do, we do have decent strength down here. The only wood is in the mountains. We do have a decent chunk of strength. It's just the core over here. I should say division over here is somewhat worrisome. But I think, frankly, we need more to the north, or potentially even here in the center. There's not much to oppose us here, so we might actually retake some ground just to cover, just to take a little bit more defensible ground, really. I could shift that division to the north, reinforce one of the other divisions. But I think what we'll do then is we'll deploy the corps just outside Breslau, and then we'll have it shift over into the center or into the north. And we will have another 2 corps to arrive shortly. Should be in the next turn. We will have the supply trucks arriving as well shortly too. So I'm looking forward to that. Yep, no issue. Okay. So this is Bulgaria. Let's see, Finland. Okay, so we do have some unassigned escorts over here. Right. So I could send oil to these nations. I think I could send oil to Hungary. There we go. I don't think they need a tremendous amount. I could potentially send some oil to Finland. Again, I'm not gonna send too much. We'll see how that fares. And you can see the Bulgarians over here don't have a huge amount, so I'm gonna send them some additional as well. I don't want to send tremendous amounts. Obviously, the Romanians do generate their own, which is good news. So they're more or less self-sufficient. Right, stockpiles. Interesting. Yeah, we don't have a huge amount in the way of stockpiles. So let's actually, let's take a look then over here. Okay, yeah, you can see that we have been using a lot of that. I've been essentially trying to actually reinforce just every part of the army as quickly as possible, and obviously that has come at a cost. So we'll probably have to reduce that in the following turns, if not next turn. So I think the order of the day then is trying to repel the forces over here. So I do need to actually get a proper garrison in there, actually. Does this game force more or less decisions about resources compared? That's an interesting question. I've not played much of Strategic Command to really give an honest opinion of that. So what I'll say is we'll go through the game, and you'll be able to make your own judgment on that one, I suppose. Okay. Let's see. So I could obviously move the Paris Security Division, but I'm not going to do that as of yet. Or, I don't think at all, actually. And we do have some fairly strong, yeah, I mean, these are actual garrison cores. I think what we'll have to do is potentially switch this around here. That's a good preemption there on a question then, isn't it? That's really quite good. See, they do have the Baltic Cherbourg over here. And is a difficult one to manage. It may be that we allow them to move forward. Oh, are they able to actually land over here? That's intriguing. If we were to retake the fort, sorry, the port, not the port. Sorry, not the fort, the port. That'd be ideal. I may allow them to move inland. Though the question is, will I regret that? It would allow us to actually attack from 2 hexes over here, actually, which would be obviously ideal. It may be for the best, actually. So what I think I will do then is, let's see. I could have these guys attack, but I think what we'll do then is we'll shift you to the rear, like so. I'm going to shift this division. Well, I'd be better off actually keeping it here to actually use against the Americans. So I'll shift the panzers over here. These panzers will shift here. The cavalry will move here. So it is a little bit of a risk. Granted, it is a risk, but I want to see what we can manage here. Now, I do have air power as well that I should try to use. So I think what we'll do then is we'll airstrike. Well, actually, saying that, I might pull the actual bombers to the east, and I think I will. Pull them to the east. I could use them over here in the west, but the Allies are no... Yeah... They're no pushovers when it comes to actual air power. But I'll have them shifted over to the east. I could probably make a greater bit of use of them there. Okay, so I do have a formation over here. That's good. So, I mean, this is the worry. This is the worry over here. I could shift this unit over here, get a new one into that position then, which would be good. So what I'll do then is do just that. Right, so I'm going to have to shift one of these out of the way. So I'll shift the HQ over here then, actually. It doesn't really benefit me tremendously over here. Right, move you via rail. Okay, now you can't move right now. But we'll manage it. So the issue is they may be destroyed. This... Oh no, that's an army, sorry. The army over here is a little bit of a worry. I'd like to counterattack, but there's really no good in doing that. We do have the river, we do have the actual swamps over here, sorry, the marshes over here to help us out. So at least we have that going for us. I mean, this armor's going to be a problem, but it's not exactly fighting in ideal terrain. It may be worthwhile just to pull this unit back over here. And I think it is, really. I don't lose anything there. I can place this unit over here, and again, they are vulnerable, but at least it does... It prevents them from being immediately destroyed, We still have these two cores, or the wings of this armoured core, so ideally that will check it and prevent its further advance. Its further advance. Over here in Italy, we're doing alright. I do talk with the idea of actually pulling out the Panzer Corps and the Panzer Grenadier Corps, but I think they are required. The Infantry Corps maybe could be potentially pulled out, but I think having sufficient amounts of force over here is necessary. If the situation goes south, then it's going to go south very quickly. It'd be a difficult one to recover from, really. Okay. So as far as it goes in Finland, we were trying to evacuate our troops, weren't we? We realised we could have moved them out via the port. But oh well. Issues, I'm going to march through all of this now. Yeah, we'll go south. We can use the port, can't we? We'll do that. I could even potentially use them to help support the Finns if necessary. Okay. It might be worthwhile to hold on to Viborg. There's a decent amount of force over here, but it's not too bad. Though saying that probably is better off supporting these units over here to the north. What I will do then is pull these guys back over here as they were low on supply. Try to reinforce them if we can. There's not too much else I can really take, is there? I do have some interceptors over here. They would be very nice to have. Essentially, we want to try and retain control of the skies over here if we can, or at least try and have the ability to fight back if necessary, which it often is. Right, we do have the panzers over here. We'll be looking at when to actually pull the panzers back shortly as well. That's going to be something of major consideration. We'll have the panzers moved over here towards Normandy, well, into Normandy. Okay. So, not a huge amount. I think potentially advancing over here would be worthwhile. Just seize more of that actual defensible ground. We do have only forest here, which is not exactly great. Yeah, it's a swamp. If only this was swamp as well, that'd be great news. Okay. See, over here, we're under a lot of pressure. At least we are able to look after ourselves to some extent there. Right, reinforce that. So I can't reinforce this right now, but at least we've been able to manage it. Right, next turn I could reinforce that. I could pull back here, but obviously I would have to surrender that marshland. We could potentially play around with some of these force deployments. I do have the very strong 3rd SS Panzer Corps over here. That is quite mighty. Hey, Dinverband Bishop, good to have you, my friend. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this formation over here, the Luftwaffe Field Division. Sorry, Field Corps. I could do with potential reinforcements over there. Yeah, the issue is we don't really have a great deal of defensible terrain once we start falling back into Estonia and then Lithuania. And obviously, we are in Belarus over here, and obviously then into Poland. So we're going to try and avoid that, really. I need to relieve these formations. Obviously, we do have the panzers here on the front line. Looks like we could potentially destroy the Soviet army over here, and I think that is probably a worthwhile move to do. Though, as to whether I need... I'll give it 10 to 1 odds. I think we'll go for it then. Yep, that is destroyed. Right, there we go, that's planes. So what I could potentially do then is pull back, move the infantry corps over here. Right, I'm going to shift that into the marshes over here. I do want that actual defensible terrain. Now, this was something that we actually did toy with last turn. We could have potentially moved in here. And I don't think it's still a bad idea. Right, so reconnaissance is very high over here. Right, so we were pushed back over there. Hills, not the best. Right. So I do have this Hungarian force over here. There's not really one I can reinforce with its presence, is there? So I guess I'll have them placed here for the time being. I do need to find something to fill this gap. Right. So we could actually get around this and try to cut off this actual army. That may be worthwhile doing. It does expose us to the army over here, which is the 13th Soviet Army. I don't really have tremendous amounts to do that. I may do that in the following turn. I could potentially seize that ground, but I really don't want to do that. This is it, we don't have a huge amount to cover with. It may be better then to actually place the core over here. Let's see. Right, so I can detach a division there. So I think we will do. It's not ideal, but at least I can actually help secure this position to the north. It is more than likely going to result in the destruction of a German division over here, but I need to just cap this for the time being. What we'll do then is see how we can rectify the situation. Right, we do have the power to strike over here with air, so we'll do that. We do suffer some losses ourselves. Yeah, not great there. Right, that's better. Try and reduce their strength if we can manage it. Okay, at least I can move in air power over here. I do have the Bulgarian corps over here, and it seems its presence isn't required for now. Yeah, just came out today, isn't that awesome? Okay. We'll see what the actual... Okay, so we can see the deployment of Soviet air power here. It seems to be... Well, actually, no, they do have coverage there. Yeah, there's a lot of air power over here to deal with. Okay. Yeah, Alvaro does a really good job. There's not many developers that actually will actually sit and be here to give that support, which is always nice. Right, let's see. I may look to weaken some of these formations down here. So I think what we'll do then is, I mean, I could potentially shift, this is it. I could potentially shift air focus down here to deal with the Ukrainian Reserve Tank Army. It's not a bad idea. But I think the Soviet First Guards Tank Armies probably want to take into consideration. So I think we'll go for that. There we go. And again. It is the war in Europe. I mean, the map is fantastic. I do like to zoom out here. You can see that we do have parts of Canada and North America there. But yeah, I mean, it covers the essential war. I mean, this is where obviously the majority of the fighting took place in the West. Not counting obviously the East. Well, the Far East, I should say. Okay. Again, inflicting losses, that's very nice. Okay, there we go. Now the question comes down to where do I deploy the 3rd SS Panzer. I may have them deployed over here, and that would give us a very nice... it gives enough oomph to work with. We could potentially then sweep down. And the question comes down to how could we potentially utilize a push down here. If we were to push in towards, let's say, Kiev, that'd be interesting. But I think, frankly, yeah, we have the ability to lop off 2 armies, well, a tank corps and a army down here, so it might be worthwhile to deploy the actual SS Panzers down that way. It's not a bad idea. We could push back towards Minsk, but again, I'm not entirely... I'm not exactly keen on doing anything like that. So I think what we'll do then is we'll have the 3rd SS Panzer Corps deployed down here to the south. I can make great use of it then. And ideally we want something to actually pin them against. At least over here I can pin them against my own forces, and I do have armor, a good concentration of armor over here in the south, so that's pretty good to work with. As we'll increase that concentration of armor. There we go. Allow them to remain in position, and then we can move them out. So they've been given breakthrough, it seems. Okay, they're an elite division. Righto. I do have these specialty points. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to actually spend them on. I mean, that's the consideration here. Right, we're going to allow the Americans to advance in Normandy, and then concentrate attacks against them. So we'll go with that then. We'll end the turn, but I'm going to save it first. Just save it too, just so we've got to save that. Ah, that's awesome there, Gamer Hudson. Sure, living will appreciate that. Right, we'll go forward then. See how things turn out. We are trying to pull back the German forces in Finland, which hasn't been very efficient, but we'll get there. We'll get there. No, it's a good game. No, I agree, Lance. It is genuinely quite fun. Okay, so we see additional British forces landed on the coast. That's not good. Okay. Ah, there we go. So you can see that the Soviets did pull back their armor in the south there. That's very good. At least it means we can actually plug the line there without seeing a division destroyed. They may... Right, okay. They actually did pull back the army I was somewhat worried about. They've shifted a great deal of strength then to the south. Right, okay. Well, in this scenario, I'm playing from 1944, so as to the earlier years, it's hard to say, but I believe there is a circumstance where the Soviets can invade earlier. Right, yep, we are seeing heavy landings here along the coast. Our Finnish forces are forced to pull back. Right, push back there by mechanized. Yeah, I'm quite glad that we didn't go down there. Right. Okay, so we are pushing out of Riga, which isn't ideal. I'm not too concerned about that, because it is on the wrong side of the river, but it's still a defensible position. We may see about retaking it, but it seems it hasn't been garrisoned as of yet. Yeah, that's a good one there, Lanza. How you doing there, Pixel? Good to have you, my friend. I'm sure you'll appreciate this, Pixel, but my Eldar Wraith Knight arrived today, so I'm really happy about that. It's painted by somebody who can actually paint, so that's really nice. Okay, we are going to see a few divisions destroyed there. Now, it's a good way to summarize it there, Van Bishop. Yeah, no, you're right, there's that. I got it on eBay for about $47.51, including the box and packaging, but it's really nicely painted. And what I'm going to do is I've just bought a Chaos Army and I've got an Eldar Army. I know I should be talking about this, but I can't help it. We're all human. We all have hobbies. No, I just bought it off eBay. I don't have that kind of cash. No, but I'm just going to like use it in the points list as the Forge World variant, because it actually has good rules. It has some fun rules. Okay, so we do see the 215th Division has been shattered. The Yag Corps was destroyed as well, which is unfortunate. As we see additional landings in Normandy, which is less than stellar. Okay, they didn't actually advance. Yeah, okay, well... the second HG over here... Well, is this Home Guard? That's the Home Guard, isn't it? Okay, that's intriguing. Right, okay. Yeah, they are forced to surrender. Right. I think we're in sufficient strength over here to strike. And to be honest, I don't think there's any worries about that. That's 4-1 odds. So over here's 3-1. Yeah, no, definitely. Definitely. That is on the cards. I mean, with all the 40k armies I've got, I'm focusing on getting them built and painted. That should be really good. Right, so we'll go with the 3-1 odds over here. They do hold. We can attack again. And they do hold again. Once more onto the breach, and they hold again. Wow. That's actually rather surprising. Right, there we go. We finally do shatter them, but that's actually, that did cost us, but I think it is worthwhile to do so. I may want to pull this out and replace it with another Panzer Division that is of higher strength. I think I will do that. Yeah, the Flames of War was nice, actually. The battle group was good. I enjoyed the battle group. Yeah, I mean, this is it. Rich is working on a shed and that, so we'll get that sorted and we'll be able to do proper things. Okay, so we do destroy the first Polish armor division over there. That's excellent. So we have more or less been able to manage the Allied invasion so far. Let's see. I can try... I think it might be worthwhile to try and deal with them over here, really. So I can advance the 1st SS Panzer Corps. They do have heavy armor. There's only 1 to 2 odds there. I could potentially use the air power to strike against them. Okay, this Yetkar has been seriously weakened. Yeah, they are being weakened. Let's see. I do suffer losses there. My air power is suffering. I think what we are going to have to do then is pull the air power back, allow it to recover. I don't think it's been tremendously useful to me right now. I'm actually very tempted to have it relocated into the east, to be honest, and just concentrate the air power there. It is a risk. Okay. So what we'll do then is we'll attack. See how much it does take to break them down. You can see just how much that hurts us there. Pull them back, recover. I'm not too sure about that, my friend. 1-to-1 odds there. Right. We'll fall back. Okay. So I don't have many other high-strength panzer divisions. That has cost us significantly. I think it is worthwhile. I'll replace them over here. I think it is worthwhile as we do need to force back the Allies. This position obviously here is quite dangerous. I'm not going to send these submarines out quite yet. That did cost us. We do have another corps. Sorry, we have 2 corps to deploy, which is fantastic. They are really, really needed right now. So deploy the one over here. We'll have a truck shortly as well. That's going to be great news. These guys are now ready. So I can have them move out to where we need them. Well, actually, let's take a look at the situation here on the ground first. Get an idea what's going on. Yeah, I know, right. Yeah, this is it, exactly. It turns out I'm actually patient 0. Oh, dear. 0, not in terms of infection, but in terms of, like, income. Oh, dear. Or even social life. We could add a lot on that, actually. Right. Hungarian. We were very fortunate to not been attacked over here, actually. And they did shift a remarkable amount of armor down here, actually. Okay, they may have just produced that. They're somewhat weak in the center here. It's just a question of how we can actually manage to make use of that. And I'm finding it difficult to say. Yeah, these forces do need to be replenished immediately. Okay, so they do seize Riga. Right. Okay. This is not exactly great. Well, this is it, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. It's why I've been playing a lot of War in the Pacific, actually. It's been really good as well. It's been really great just to actually be able to, like, get the painting done, etc. I do like the hobby, and it's always fun. And what games do you guys play, then? Come on. We're going to Tabletop players? I know there's some of you in here. Stay home, homie. Yeah. Okay. I am tempted to shift these around. We do have some very strong cores over here. It may be worthwhile to lose the ground over here to pull back. I think I will do that. Okay. Again, I am under strength here. We fall back in this position, but I do have a weak division. It may be... Well, I could replace that there. I think what it might be worthwhile doing is trying to deal with these forces around Minsk as they're in the open. I may be able to deploy air power to handle that. But we do have the armoured forces, we do have the infantry over here to make that fairly doable. So I'm going to deploy the core over here. Casuals. Okay. So that's 3-1 odds there. Sorry, 2-1. That 3-1 is intriguing. Though I think I'd like to actually use the air power against them, so I might hold off on that one. So, what I'm going to do then is actually place them in the north. So I'm going to pull this unit back over here. Pull them back. Give them some chance to actually recover. I can have the core shifted up to the north. Or not. Okay. Somewhat regret that. Somewhat regret that. Yes. Yeah, okay. That's not good. I do have a hell of a lot of these headquarters. Right. Shift them over here. It's not terrible. We can deal with them. If they move across the river, we'll be able to deal with them. Oh, they get woods there. Okay, well, that's typical. Yeah, 1.4, 1.1, okay. Yeah. So we see more Soviets in the north as well. We have been able to actually recover somewhat over here by gaining that supply once more. And we could look to potentially try to cut them off over here. I think we'll try to deal with them over here. So that's 2-1. It's 3-1 odds there. Try and whittle them down if we can. 1-1 odds. Right, have the Finns prioritize that division. Okay, we're nearly up all down there. Let's see. Okay, can't do that as of yet. It seems fine on my end. It may be potentially the internet. I think it's okay. Or maybe even Twitch, to be honest. Right, okay. We're not too far off. We have been able to destroy a decent chunk of strength from the British. We've destroyed a decent chunk of the American strength as well. Yeah, 152 for the Americans, 92 there. We're not doing bad. I mean, we have been able to give a good account of ourselves so far. Yeah, exactly. Right, I need to reduce that. We don't obviously produce that much to be able to cover that sort of expense. And so what I'll try to do then is we'll aim for, yeah, I mean we produce 607, so if we just try to stockpile a little bit, that'd be worthwhile, I'd imagine. Gotta obviously pull that back there. So them stockpile. Right, we do still have a decent stockpile over here, so I'm going to put more into that. Right, that'll be at least something to work with. So again, we're not producing any new units other than what we already had in production, so we are suffering for it, but I think it's worthwhile. Again, we'll save it. There we go. move on to the next turn. Now, will we see additional landings over here? That's a question. At least we have been able to deal with a lot of the allied strength. Eventually, I will be able to start sending strength back to the east. And I'm going to look forward to that day. That's good to know. Yeah, we can see that the Soviets are gaining strength from the east. Okay. I just need time. If I can get the appropriate amount of force on the actual front lines, enough, and to the point where we can actually have them just hold without being attacked, that'd be fantastic, because then we could actually build up fortifications. Okay, they attack there. Right, I might be able to use that in the north, try and drive them back as well. And they've weakened themselves, so we can potentially use that. Right, remains probably going to get pushed back, if not destroyed. Looks like they hold, but not easily. It may be worthwhile just to try and hold the line for the time being. I think potentially we pull back across the Bug River. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it. I know. Yeah, what do you guys reckon then? Do we pull back across the Bug River? It doesn't particularly help us tremendously by reducing the front width, but it does mean that we actually have the advantage of the river. So I think that is worthwhile. I think we'd have the time to actually build up fortifications again. I think I will have to have the 3rd SS Panzer Corps either redeployed to the north or to the centre, really. How you doing, Kushan? Good to have you, my friend. How you been holding up? I know. But it is pretty good positioning. Right, okay. So we do have these Velma for us now. Okay. So it looks like we are being attacked over here. So I'm going to have the actual U-boats pull back. Have them return to Stettin for the time being. I will make use of them, I swear. Oh, okay, that's good to know. Right, so we're going to have these forces pull out. So they've been loaded. Looks like I'm going to need additional ports. So we'll be able to do this, but it's going to be one at a time. And there's nothing I can particularly do about that. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Right. So that'd be 2 to 1 odds. So they are able to recover there. It's not ideal. As we are going to have to really decide how we're going to manage this. Yeah. Whereabouts is it that you're from there, Cushion? Yeah, it's been okay over here. It's one of those things is you never want to go out more than when you're not allowed to. It's like being a child. Okay. What I'm going to do then is actually transfer the air power to the north. There we go. Now the good news is we do have another 2 cores over here. And you can see they're actually really quite strong. That is more than welcome. So we do see that they've moved a... Sorry, that's a garrison force over here. That's good to know. I can work with that. I can seriously work with that. So I think we'll get the additional cores in place. We're starting to build up a little bit of resilience here. So I think what we'll do then is we'll pump back over here. Yeah. Okay, they do have that fortification, I do believe. Let's see. Where does it display fortification again? Are they not able to fortify? Ah, there we go. Yeah. So they do have entrenchment, I should say. Posable funds. Okay, so we're going to pull back across the Bug River over here. I'm going to have the 3rd redeployed. We're not facing a tremendous amount of pressure in the centre now, which is understandable. It's most over here in the north. It could be potentially advantageous for us to try and make a pocket around Riga, really. Try and push back across the river and pocket them there. That could be quite good. That's pretty awesome there, Grey Knight. Where are you from, my friend? Yeah, but I'll have them redeployed to the north. Shift you there. The Luftwaffe Field Division could do, well, so Field Corps could do with actual recovery here. Oh, Ohio. That's pretty cool. Okay. So the Hungarians are gaining strength, which is good news. Shift you over here. I need to give the division here time to recover. I could potentially have it move to merge with the division over here to the north. But then again, that could be placed back in here. But it's not ideal to have this like it is. It does give me the ability to redeploy the Hungarians. That's pretty good there, SYT. Yep, over here it does make sense. We do have the advantage of the actual hills, so I can work with that. If I could pull back... if I pull back into Corvel, it's a 1.2 versus 1.3. Though we do have the actual river to work with, so I suppose it actually might be worthwhile to still pull back. Again, I'm tempted to go in like this, but I don't know. I don't think we'd have the power to really clip it off yet. It could be potentially done. If I built up the actual forces over here somewhat. But I think this is probably a better area. We do have the plains over here. It's also the fact that we do have a lake over here. I think, is this Lake Ilmen? No, is it Lake Ilmen or is that Lake Ilmen? I forget which lake this is. Is that Lake Ladoga? Is that Ilmen? I forget which one's Ilmen. But at least we do have the actual natural terrain features over here to use to our advantage. There's not a tremendous amount of force over here either. So I think what we'll do then is we'll build up for an offensive in the north, or at least a counter-offensive, I should say. Okay, redeploy over there. Right. See, that's a pretty strong position right now. Okay. What I'll do then is we'll deploy these fellows around Warsaw. Looks like the rails might have been cut over here. Indeed, so I'll have them deployed around Warsaw. I would like to have them as something of a active reserve, though actually it might be worthwhile to deploy them at Krakow. I'll hold them as a reserve over here. That's a lot of air power over there. We are recovering, we are winning over here in the west, which is good news. So, I do have additional armor freed up as well, which is good news. So I think what we're going to do then is try to just, yeah, I need to remove them. So it's going to cost us a lot, but I think it is ultimately worthwhile to do so. We're not doing well, but we are ultimately grinding them down. Right, they do hold. Still holding there. Okay, seems like I can't move forward now. I kind of bugged myself there. But it does give us additional time to recover the other division, so that's fine by me. Now, we can seriously start to think about pulling some forces potentially back to the east. It seems like we are reaching towards the end here. It would be ideal. Okay. I'm going to shift this air power to the east. Go on then, Bishop. I'm getting told off. You need to get told off here. Hmm. Right, we do have additional close support over here. Right. Okay. How's our research going? We'll get in there. I'm hoping that by concentrating to such a degree it will work out for us. Did have a spare point there? Or should I put that in detection? No. Okay, so back to the heavy armor it goes. Worthwhile, I guess. It's more so the assault and anti-tank I'm looking for. Okay. Right, that low manpower is not ideal. That's not ideal. Oh dear. Oh dear. That isn't ideal. Right. So it appears that my trucks have gone into service then. Yeah, so there's 50 supply trucks there. Ideally that will aid us quite nicely. Let's see. Our supply is looking good. Yeah, it looks like these centers have been knocked out for the time being. This is it. I'm going to need garrison units, aren't I? But we'll manage for the time being. Okay. We'll get you moving next turn. Though, to be honest, it might be worthwhile just get these units held down to Helsinki. Yeah, get one of them down there. Having some additional mountain troops would be very handy. It would give us a lot to work with. We can see that these guys have winter combat, which is very nice. And we're in September now. We need to hold on. Really as much as possible, as long as possible. Allow the winter to save our asses if we can. Okay. Moving on. I don't imagine we're too far from the end of the offensive in the west. It's been difficult to try and grind down the Americans in Cherbourg, but it will be worth it once we do that. We'll be able to actually hold it. Oh dear. Right, not so bad. Okay, that's not ideal. That's a good question there, Hudson. Is there a multiplayer paying by email option? I've not tried it multiplayer, so I can't answer that one actually. I'm sure we'll have the developer Alvaro be able to answer that. Okay, there's a lot of forces being deployed to the north. Okay, that's not ideal. They still have sufficient strength to be useful, but yeah, it's not ideal to see them pushing down here in Romania. Now, the thing to note here is we didn't, as far as it goes, we haven't seen any additional deployments in Normandy by the Allies, which is good. How you doing there, Mike? Okay. Yeah, there we go. Additional trucks have been made available as well. That's good. Okay. So we're going to continue to push over here. They are entrenched, which is not exactly ideal. But we'll break them. I've got a lot of power to play with here, frankly. Let's get in there. Slowly but surely. Right, pull back. Come on. There we go, finally. That took a significant amount of force there to finally force the surrender of the American forces in Cherbourg. That was no easy task. That was no easy task indeed. Right, now to actually garrison it. Just look at the state of the armoured forces after that. That took a lot. That did take a lot. But it is worthwhile. I'll place them here for the time being, man. Okay. Right, that's good. So soon we'll be able to seriously think about actually shifting forces from the west to the east. I am going to have this air power rejuvenate, really. Yeah, definitely heavy losses for that, but it is worthwhile. It does remove the Allied toehold. Okay. I could potentially shift forward, but then again, is there any benefit to that? And potentially holding this position along the river would be very advantageous. I mean, we've got the actual swamp there, the marshlands to actually work with in the Pripyat marshes. And then the river's it's a nice cherry on top of the cake, isn't it? What I could do with this unit over here is potentially split it, but it's not tremendously strong as is, really. So we'll go for it, see how we manage. Okay. I need to work out how I want to use these specialty points. They're concentrating a lot of force over here, but I feel like if we do, potentially, if we wait the arrival of forces from the west, we might be able to go for a true and serious counterattack. Okay. It's just about trying to get the forces to where we need them to be. So to shift you there for the time being. Shift you back. Have these fellows, I mean, this is very strong. It's a very strong force. Oh, so we'll have to have you placed there for the time being. That's fine. Can replace them afterwards. Now let's see. So we do have victory objectives to take. So retake and Riga would be ideal. Minsk might be able to be retaken. The only issue is it's somewhat indefensible. Taking that hill is a good idea. And Kiev as well is something to look for. And the west we're doing well. Doing very well in the west. As far as it goes down here, I'm not too concerned. I may look to retake... Well, I might look to take the Panzer Corps out from here. I don't think it will. Retake Vladivostok. Okay, we'll go for that. Yeah. If I can get another full-strength Panzer Corps out here, that would be very nice. Ah, there we go. Multiplayer is quite fun. Confirmed. Okay, I'm very happy about the Hungarian formation here. Retake Vladivostok. I like that. Again, can't leave the mountains. Reinforcements would be welcome down here, actually. And I think that might be when I do send another corps. Because frankly, it's getting to a point now where I'm finding it hard. So I'll have them shifted up there. Hills is not ideal, of course. I do want to be able to move back into the mountains. I've been pushed back somewhat. Being able to retake that rail line would be ideal too. Okay. What I can do then is... I'm going to have you pull back over here to actually try and regenerate that strength. Let's see. I could have the Hungarians move in to cover that position there. So I'll move you in here. Shift the Hungarians. There we go. Shift the Hungarians down the line. Okay. So I'm going to concentrate the air power of the north then. Right. Send reinforcements to the aircraft. Once we have them up to strength again, we can concentrate the air power. Right, there we go. So I'm going to be looking towards the counter-offences over here in the north. We could push to the river line, but essentially what I want to do is move around here. Pin them against Riga, pin them against the coast and destroy them. If I can destroy a couple armies each turn after that point, once we get to the point of where I can have enough strength sent back from the west over here, then we'll be quite good then. And I am pretty amazed by the amount it did cost us over here. That did cost us a significant amount. But if we take a look at the casualties, also the US has increased there. Yeah, our casualties increase as well, of course. Need to get there. Need to get there. So, question for the developer then. So, what is the usage of supply trucks? How do they help us? Are they good? Are they worthwhile of investment? Right, I might have them shifted back to the west, actually. Have you shifted up over there? Okay. Let's take a look at Finland. I think I'll pull back. I've got nothing but space over here. Oops. Okay. Shift you out of Helsinki for the time being. I'll get them shifted out of the way and try and get them moving. For some reason I couldn't move it. Oh, I see. I see. Right, so we'll save it there. It's getting closer. I do wonder how much more the Allies have. We do see a couple, and some armoured formations in the United Kingdom still. You can see them just to the north of London, northeast of London. We might be able to hold in the west with just a couple divisions of infantry and the garrison divisions. It may be that we can pull all the armour to the east. We're being pressed mostly at the Romanian border. The centre's not so bad anymore. They've only got the actual armoured unit there in the Pripyat marshes. Okay, just as I say that, they do move their additional infantry army there. A couple of them, actually. Finland is taking a beating, but I'm not too miffed about Finland. Right, the Hungarians took some issue with holding that position there, it seems. Okay, so again, we're not seeing any allied forces in the west. I think we'll look at pulling the armor back this turn. It will take some time to recover its strength. Well, recover the strength that was lost there, removing the Americans from Sherborg. But I think that was definitely worthwhile. At least they don't have a toehold anymore. This always started gaining strength, it seems. Okay, there we go. And the weather is actually changing over here. Oh, that's very nice. Awesome, okay. That low mountain power is not good. Yeah, we need to try and recover that. Oh. I may be able to leave them to wither on the vine there. I don't exactly fancy going up against that. Right. Let's get some armor flowing back to the east. I'm going to look to build it up over this point. Okay. Question is, do I need to hold every hex here? It might be worthwhile to run this as a test just to see. Let's move you there for the time being. I imagine they have the beachhead supply there. Right, there we go. And so we're going to have these forces redeployed in Königsberg. And I will send them there. There we go. Disembark that unit. Lovely. I have you head down there. Right. You can't move as of yet, so we'll get you moved down next turn. But at least we have a mountain unit over here. That does give us a lot to work with. Okay. Yeah, manpower's a bit of an issue. To say the least. Okay. We are building that entrenchment, which is fantastic. Okay. Shift that down that way. See, if I could push them out of this position here, I'd be able to reduce the width of the line somewhat, which would be nice. So I think we might go for that. Okay, use some manpower. Okay, we're allowed to build up over this turn then. Okay. Ooh, hello. That's good to see. Hmm. Yeah, we'll look then to take this position. Reduces the actual width over here somewhat. And it's not great to obviously be on this side of the river, but if I can try and take them, that'll be good. Saying that, I might actually be shooting myself in the foot, and I probably am like that. Okay, we'll get you moving. Again, try and build up the amount of armoured forces, and just forces in general over here. If I can actually try and swing around here and deal with a few of these Soviet armies, I'd be very happy. Yeah, partisan activity is not exactly ideal right now. That stockpile is running down. Okay. There's not much that's really worthwhile building, is there? Let's take a look, actually. Okay. Bulgaria has some manpower there. And they've got a stockpile, so we'll bloody well make use of that stockpile. Finns have got some manpower. Yeah, the Hungarians have got a good chunk of manpower there. And so has Romania. I think this is it. If we can essentially try to allow them to build up a stockpile. So let's take a look at the trades, actually. I might be able to shift some assets over to the allies there. Okay. I was having taken from them. Okay. Okay, so I can make a arrangement with Romania. Yeah, if we can get the actual stockpile into these Axis allies, I can start to actually build up their forces somewhat. Use their manpower. Okay, we do have a good stockpile. Let's reduce that somewhat. Make sure that we have about 100 coming in each time. Okay. I do wonder what I want to use these specialty points for. Let's see, what options do we have? Yeah, Haas River Penalty, that's good. It's decent enough. Heavy artillery is a good one as well. The winter combat could be very good. Tank destroyers are nice. Treats interesting. We've got a few to work with there. I'll wait until we actually get to a point of where we can actually launch a proper offensive, and then we'll take a look at them. The river one's very nice. I do like that. It would be very handy over here actually in launching the attacks. But then again, I don't know. It's one of those that it is nice, but it's a little bit situational. So we'll launch something of a counteroffensive over here, just a small scale one, just to try and push them back from the Bug River there. I just need to try and reduce the combat width for Ripper Division to head elsewhere. Well, for Ripper Corps to head elsewhere, really. I do wonder what kind of manpower these Soviets have right now. They do seem to be increasing their strength, so we'll have to keep a note of that. They do keep shifting it around. I may have to keep the strength in place for a small amount of time. It seems like they're actually doing it in response to my own concentrations, which is actually rather interesting. It is helping me down here towards the Romanian border, which is very handy. I can retake the 2 mountain tiles there, and potentially the hills. I'm not too bothered about the hills. The mountains definitely. It does actually help to strengthen our position. Space is a premium, really. Okay, 3rd Division has no supply. Where the heck is 3rd Division again? Oh, I see. Definitely not good. I think I'll disembark them and have the German force help out over here, really. Alright, so we were in the plains there. Not ideal. Okay. That's actually rather intriguing now this is opened up. Use the air power over here. I'd love to know what these units are. I don't know what they are. That's ouch. I should be able to inflict some pretty hefty casualties over here. Lovely. So I could shift this down here, shift the infantry down here. There we go. Yeah, they're forced to retreat. 3-2 there. They hold. Can we try and force them to break? Right, force retreat again. Better off pulling back now. But it has freed up some panzers for us to work with. I'll shift them over here for the time being just to hold the line. I can shift the line up then. Yeah. That was fun. You'd think I'd know more about the game, wouldn't you? Oh dear. Does tickle me, that one. They do have a lot more strength there. They're quite weak, but they do have that strength. I am curious to see what that unit is. Okay. So it just means unknown forces, okay. Actually, I'll shift the mountain forces down here. Would be quite preferable. It's good to actually see that we can push them back over here. We need to find a way to actually pull off an encirclement. I mean, that's what we're desperate for right now. Okay, they shifted our headquarters over there. That's a very bold move. That's very bold. Right. Yeah, they're forced retreat there. Not too surprising. Okay. Shift that one down there. Try to spot a point at which I can actually really break through. I need to have sufficient armor to actually back it up as well. We are getting to that point. It's a decent number over there. I think, let's see then. Okay. Need to reinforce you. I'll do that as soon as I can. This will be a chance to try and see how effective the submarines are. So do see there's a couple divisions still in United Kingdom. Okay, we'll shift this to the east. It does feel really good to be able to do this now. Okay. What I'm going to do then is actually pull back these forces from the coast. I want to see what happens. I want to see if we can actually manage this without having to garrison every single hex over here. We'll soon see anyway. Pull another Panzer Division out. Okay. Right, they do have significantly more to work with now. Yeah, there we go. So we can increase that. I'm going to go with 50-50. Let's take a look then. Infantry corps, okay. And so we'll save up, and then I can start working on that. Use that to our advantage then. Gives us additional sources of manpower to use. I need to try and take the strain off the Wehrmacht. Right. I need to find a weak point. The south may in fact be the better option, due to the open plains there. It very well might be the better idea. We could potentially counterattack towards Kiev. I may very well go for that. We could then push down towards the, down towards the Black Sea, I think. It's a brave move. Yeah, they're not very... not so strong in the Ukraine. If I could cut the rail lines... Well, sever the rail lines, that would actually prevent them from sending reinforcements as quickly. I think this is it. We're sort of at a point now where we're able to stabilize to an extent. We're still being probed across the line, but we're not taking major losses. We're not seeing divisions destroyed. So I think the gamble did pay off by radically weakening the eastern front and just obviously pulling back significantly. We traded space for time, essentially. Another question is, how do we go forward? I think it's a case of trying to nibble away at the Soviet armies, try and reduce their strength in certain areas, and not to the point where we can actually break through, or make meaningful gains, really. That's what we want. Again, 3rd Division. Not doing so well. We did lose a U-boat there. Let's take a look. No luck so far. Yeah, so it looks like we can pull back more strength though, which is good to see. I don't want to pull back too much. I do wonder if it's worth doing this. I think it is worth it. We need to drive them back. Give them that speciality. 1-to-1 odds. Over here as well. Heavy artillery will come in handy elsewhere. Right, still 1-1. Right, we might be able to finish them off. I'm looking forward to that. Okay. It's looking pretty good so far. Right. We're getting better now. Worthwhile getting better in there. 1-1 odds there. Not ideal. Okay. I'm playing on normal. I didn't realize. Might want to change that. Okay. So facing a lead division over there. I'm not entirely sure what that one has. Let's take a look at the actual reports then. Yeah, they're gaining strength there. They are gaining strength. Some of the allies, it's not ideal. We have lost quite a bit there. When you add it up, obviously, we are more or less on par. The air losses are not good. I mean, we're having to force a lot of losses here to try and kick the allies out, which is worth it. We are gaining strength over here in the east. We just need to find a way to materialize a gain here. I do think this might be the area to do it. So I'm going to shift the panzers down there. Right, move the air power down here to concentrate too. And you can see the amount of air power we have now. There we go. I think this is where we're going to make a big push. Let's get the air power in position, get the panzer divisions in position, really. Okay, there we go. So this is the beauty. We can have these formations over here, but a little bit of a strength. Actually, they just start to build up actual fortifications themselves. Gives us something to actually work with then. So I think we might be in a position to launch a counter-offensive next turn. We'll see how that turns out. So number 10. I am pretty... I'm making a big risk in the west, actually. I think we have reached the end of the Allies' ability to really impose their will in Normandy. So I'm hoping that we can get additional forces to the east. Really need them. As long as they leave a gap, I can work with that. I imagine they will look to fill it, but we'll see how they redeploy. Ideally, they retain that strength in the north, because I do want to break through there. Yeah, see you there, Alvaro. Alvaro. I always want to say Alvaro. Yeah, we do have a good amount of strength there. We can actually use the Pripyat marshes against them. I see, this is it. If I could actually, if I could get to Kiev and sever the rail lines, I just need to try and make it as difficult as possible for them to move reinforcements. But this is what I was talking about not too long ago, where we don't see that many attacks. We do have reserves. That's what we need. I think the air power will play a significant role here. We've essentially got all of the Axis as air power here. Well, most of it. If about a good 90% of it, I'd imagine, of the air power we have is around this area. There's not much that's elsewhere. And we'll look to use that. If we can try and destroy some of his air power as well, that'd be very nice. But yeah, I think we do try to push towards Odessa if we can. If we could pin them on the other side of the river, that'd be excellent. Try and cut them from supply. And we'll see. Essentially what we're going to do then is form pockets. If we can form a pocket of a first offensive, that'd be good. Okay. Third division surrendered, unfortunately. Okay, lost another U-boat, so I'll pull the U-boats back. Yeah, Finland's not having a great time right now. Pull back there. Give the first some time to recover. Okay. Yeah, there we go, that's looking pretty good. And they do have this line over here, but I think we could potentially break that. Right. Okay, we can actually work with that. Too many hexes with my eyes. Well, they are old eyes. They are old, tired, and tested. Painting too many goals and their little privates. Oh dear. It's good to have you, Ricky. Okay. I wish. I'd actually have some employment now. Okay. That might be reasonable to work with. I reckon we could potentially take that. Now, this is it, isn't it? We'd obviously make a counterattack in November. Potentially not the wisest idea. We'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do. You're always there. You're like E.T. Taking down will be nice, but not essential. Let's just pull that now. Okay, what I'm going to do then is use the air power here. Oh, there's the fires. Okay, now they've started to do their good work. Oh, but I'll use them as well. Okay, we'll go with that. So I do have plenty to work with over here. So we'll lop off that army. Okay, 3. They can't join in. 3 to 1's not bad though. Yep, that works. Shift the panzers. Not great odds. Right, let's see. What are these odds like? Not ideal. We'll go back to Normandy then for the time being. Shift you there. Nope. Continue to shift these guys. Right, I can shift the additional armor down there now. There we go. So we are making some progress here. Obviously the weather isn't ideal. Okay, there we go. Try to shift them as much as I can. We'll see how this goes. They'll probably redeploy a lot of their forces over here. But we'll see. There's not that much there. We continue to use the air power and concentrate, so we should be able to manage quite nice. Okay, I need to merge you down there. I'm going to pull off the Panzer Grenadiers as well. There we go. Pull these Panzers back too. Yeah, we're holding over here, which is good. We'll see if we can actually pull forces for the offensive down this way. Okay, moving on forward. I forgot to move the U-boat. Okay, we'll change that. I mean, this winter's not ideal for the offensive, but I think we might be able to retake some limited ground here. If I could at least push to the river line, that'd be ideal. If it didn't east of the river, it'd be very nice. It gives a nice position to actually hold then, at least. It would obviously save Romania and Hungary from real threat. Okay. Right, obviously I can reinforce that position there. And the Finns are not having a good time. That one's a pretty obvious, pretty obvious statement. Oh well, they'll be okay. Yeah, it's interesting to see them actually attacking over here. It does weaken them. Yeah, we see attacks down here to the south. This is the first time we've seen attacks down in that location, at least. Right. Yeah, we've got some reserves to juggle around there in the north. Additional reserves are on their way too. It may be worthwhile to actually reduce the width of the line of the centre. I don't think I'd lose anything from doing that. As long as I hold some swamp or marshland, then I can actually have a solid defensive position. Yep, they're giving some ground over there. They're shifting forces, but I could probably break through that still. When home computer aided, games will be available, hectares will be gone. That's pretty interesting. I suppose things looked a little bit different in your day there, didn't it, Van Bishop? I mean, how did you get out of Tron? That's what I want to know. There we go. So Hungary's low on oil stockpiles. I can sort that out. Okay, I can give them... do they actually have entrenchment? They do, bastards. I'll go give them that. Right, did manage to cause a little bit of damage there. A little bit more. Right, we're getting to that point now we'll be able to break them. A little bit more will manage it. It is costing us a significant amount, but I think it is definitely worthwhile. Right, we'll pull them back to the breast. Okay. Shift to their headquarters there. I'm going to shift the Finnish Air Force over here. Okay, fill the gap. That's actually a pretty strong... yeah, the shock army. Wow. Yeah, that's better. The swamps are just so bloody good. That 1.7 really does help out significantly. Let's see if we can manage over here. Yeah, hills are not ideal. I've been in this position here, but then again there is that. But we'll concentrate that air power. It does sound like fun. Like a lot of fun, sorry. There we go. Well, that was actually pretty effective there. Okay, there we go. So let's do to 1 odds there. Right, we'll shift here. Right, if I can manage this, then I will be quite happy. Right, 3-1 odds. There, wow, okay, they shattered. That'll do. That will definitely do. Okay, we're actually getting somewhere now. Okay, so I can't combine them. Okay. Do I have any air power? Right, I'm low on fuel. Okay, try and shatter them. There we go, they surrender. Right, now we're making it somewhere. Cooking on gas. Right, additional panzers there. Okay, we're actually making some solid progress now. Actually, forcing this render of 2 units there is really quite handy. Might be worthwhile to continue to beat up on that unit. It's not far from breaking then, I'd imagine. Yep, there we go. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, and this is what I want to aim for. I want to try and take control of the river area. If I can take along the river here. Well, then again, we'll see. If I can get around the other side, there's not that much in my way. It will be intriguing to see how this turns out. I don't imagine they're going to allow me to do this, but we'll see if we can actually do it without giving them the option. Right, they are shifting forces to the south, but they can only shift so much, can't they, at once? They are determined to counterattack in some locations. Right, that armor is taking a pretty hefty beating. We'll pull it back and have it recover its strength. But if anything, it is serving a really very useful role. Yeah, see that, that's going to be really good. That little salient there, we can actually form a pocket. Quite nice as well. If I could actually move into the hill hacks, we could definitely cut them off. Right. We are taking losses, but it is worthwhile. It's not ideal weather for this, but it's one of those things. We are making some progress. We'll keep on going until we get to a point at which we can't make any more. I'm quite happy that we've actually been able to assemble enough force to just get this going now. Yeah, we are seeing forces being shifted south. Attacks like that in the Pripyat marshes are fantastic. I mean, that costed them significantly. I do wonder how the Soviet strength is looking right now. I imagine they are producing new units. We've stopped doing that. Essentially what we want to do is use what we have, keep it up to strength, and just keep going with that, really. There's of course the manpower cost there, but it's easier to do that than build new units. Building new units is all well and good, but If the ones that we have deteriorated, then are no use to us anyway. Okay, there we go. We actually have gained additional technology over here, so detection light trucks have advanced, which is good to see. Again, try and break it down. I mean, this is it. Normandy's cost me a lot in the way of manpower, but it's something that has to be done. Yeah, they've got that air support, which is not easy to deal with. How you doing there, Toothless? That's a great name. Right, I might have to just give them some time to recover that strength. We have whittled them down somewhat, but those fortifications are making things very difficult for us. We're quite lucky that we've been able to use the specialty points there as we wished. Okay, yeah, we can move on here, and they've given us the room to do what I wanted. That's exactly what I want. Okay, shift down the line. There we go. There we go. Okay, we do have armor here. Yeah, just keep advancing where we can. But we do have a little settlement over here, which is nice. I mean, that's a good few armies there. If I can hold that, I'm going to be very happy. Well, let's take a look at the reports then. So, forces. Yeah, this is it. If we can actually take these out, we can start to really equalize there. You can see the US are taking quite a few losses. Sorry, that's what they have, sorry. Casualties. Yeah, we're not too far off equally with the Soviets now. So go ahead and we'll use this air power. So that's mountain, which is not good. Hey, Divan John, good to have you, my friend. Yeah, so that's old mountains and awful stuff. So we just want to use our air power to try and diminish their strength. There's something to be said about actually going ahead and dealing with these forces that could relieve them, really. Right, we'll go after the 5th Guard Tank Army. Try and reduce that strength of its forces there. Okay. Right, I'm going to pull you back. Still got additional armor to work with. There we go, that's good news. There we go, force them again. Oh, excellent. I'm liking that. Retrospect may have been a bad idea. But they're still contained. Yeah, so we'll see how that affects them. Hoping that will reduce their strength, actually. Yeah, give that the time to build strength back up. And then we could actually drive them out once again, and once and for all, really. They only have that little bit of land remaining to them. They are receiving that beachhead supply, which is difficult to deal with, but we have been able to like reduce their strength. Okay. It is opening up there. I need to move on to this area over here where the rail lines are. If we consider those rail lines, I think go wide around Odessa, that would be very nice. And when you think about it compared to like Barbarossa, it's a very limited offensive, really. But limited offensives do tend to pay off. If I can try to surpass them to some degree, I'll be quite happy. I can see that strength is diminishing. The armor has been fantastic so far. That's not good. I mean, we are paying for this, but I think we're trying to... yeah. If I can exceed... Well, if I can break more than equal, I'll be happy. We may be able to bag the south. That's what I'm looking for there. If there's only aircraft over here, we could probably deal some tremendous damage there. And this area's open. If I can try and force this armor out of the way, then we'd be pretty much easy going there. Yeah, there's not much here. Drive to Odessa. Could then push with these forces over here then. And just have something of a hammer of an anvil. Okay. I'd like to take some of those strategic resources in Ukraine as well. Okay, so we did have the 2nd Luftwaffe Field Division shattered. Okay. Yeah, wow. Oh, wow. That is pretty amazing. As you can see, their strength has been diminished over here. So we could actually look to encircle this over here as well, actually. And see if we can manage. Yeah, we'll go with that then. Just try and hold them there, really. Yeah, we've got a lot to work with here. Now, if I can solidify control over here, will be good. There we go. This is where these guys come in very, very handy. There we go. I don't imagine they'll last much longer, so we'll get the headquarters moved up. There's a little bit more infantry that I can use. I could drive. I could drive really deep there. I think we want to try and isolate these fellows. Right, shift them there. Let's see. Okay, we'll go with that. shift that around. Okay. Yeah, so we've been able to manage that quite nicely. So they're now isolated. We could potentially try to, if we can hold, then we can take them out next turn, which would be great news. So let's see. We are pretty much at the end of the stream, but we'll get a little bit more done. Just see how far we can get and then go from there, really. Though I think we'll save it, and we might be able to continue with it in the near future, really. But essentially, we're trying to just reduce the strength of these forces as quickly as possible, really. I'd imagine another turn of starvation would see them gone. Or at least able to be tackled pretty easily. If I could hold that as well, I'd be quite happy. But we are making some good progress down here ourselves. As I said, if we can actually then use this momentum, push on further. Oops, I'm going to regret that. Let's see. How do we go over here, man? Not great odds. Though, in all honesty, I could probably just push on forward here, really. I think I will. Yes, if I can hold this, there's no worries there. We were pushed back across the river over here, which is concerning, but it's not too bad. Yeah, so they're low on supply now. Well, they're going to be very low on supply, so they're cut off. That's obviously not ideal. Okay. There is additional armor over here, but I'm going to have to take that to the north, really. I can cover that. Yeah, so we're doing well. Doing very well there. I think we'll end the turn, and then we'll see how things look, and then unfortunately have to call an end there. But it'd be good if we ever do get the chance to actually continue. It'd be really intriguing to see where we end up. And this is it, we are counterattacking in December, which is not ideal. But then again, it's one of those of, while we do have the opportunity, it probably is worth it. They are forming a line with the air power. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, we might actually then... Oh, no, then again, they do have a few forces here. I don't know if we could be able to push through that, had they remained in that position there, probably. We'll see. Those pockets do really help. I may need to put additional stockpiles into replenishments now. Yeah, so we are seeing some sort of stabilization there. But it has cost them a few cores, a few armies, really. They are trying to get... they're going to do some little response there. It's not going to be enough. Okay. It's good to have some victories going. I think what we'd have to do then, if we were to do this in another stream in the future, is go through the units that are actually getting priority, reduce that down to just essentially what needs it. It's going well. I mean, we did pay the price, obviously, in the earlier part of the stream, didn't we? In the first part. Obviously, we were forced back. Obviously, we do have a few forces that have been shattered. Many divisions have been lost, but it is worthwhile. Right, 1-to-1 odds there. If I can push them out, I'd be very happy. They do all have the artillery to help deal with their entrenchment. It is bloody difficult though. Okay, they get another turn of replenishment. Let's take a look over here then. So force is 2182, 2068. We might be able to equalize that potentially. Yeah, these guys have seen their power diminished. We'll see what we can do against them. 1-to-1 odds there. Oops. Probably better off using the air power, that's for a start. Oh, is the weather too poor then? Yeah, okay. Heavy rains there. Let's try and reduce our strength as much as we can. There we go. Right. I should be able to deal with this nicely. Come on. You know you want to break. There we go, base surrender. That's what we need. Shift up. Oops. Did not mean to move in there. But it's not a bad thing to do, actually. We take it off now. Come on, you will surrender. Okay, wow, you are taking a lot of punishment now. It's essential we could yeah, we could just pull back to this position here. Jesus Christ. Give in. It will do it. That rain's not helpful because I can't bring in air power. Bloody hell. Yeah, there we go. We can essentially leave that. There we go. Pretty successful counterattack so far. They've cost me a lot of casualties, but yeah, not great. But yeah, you can see that we inflicted a lot of casualties. I wonder, do we have any idea how much the Allies have? Let's see. Major and minor victory points. Okay, victory points. Wonder how many we need to win the scenario. Combat logs. Ports. Yeah, but we are already taking some land over here. But thank you very much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, do check out my channel on YouTube. That is XTRG. Victories based on performance. Well, that's good to know. Well, we are making some fine counterattacks here. I think if we got the momentum truly going, then we could potentially do quite a lot of crazy things. I mean, this is it. The area is just really quite handy for that. I'm buying it right now. Yeah, do go ahead and check out Warplan on Steam. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much to Sliver in the Matrix for allowing this to happen, and thank you very much there to Alvaro and for developing a very fine game. Until next time,